Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today we have your, weekly replay video. Not getting a bonus replay video this week because we had a lot to go over with all the events in game. But your weekly replay video for this week is featuring none other than the Tier 8 Premium Cleveland, the is it Montpellier? Montpellier? I think Montpellier is the way they say it in the 50 states and capital song. So we're gonna go with Montpellier now. The Montpellier is an Azure Lane ship. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are watching a Weeb play today. Now, for most of these stats and such, the Montpellier is exactly the same as the Cleveland, except when it comes to, I believe, three parameters. One, it has a slightly longer reload time than the Cleveland, with a, I believe, standard 7-second reload time. Cleveland, I believe, has like a 6.5 second reload time, but the Montpellier has a 2.15 Sigma rating rather than the 2.0 of the Cleveland. So you got slightly longer guns, slightly longer reload time for the guns, but slightly more accurate guns. And I believe the radar is something like 2 or 3 seconds longer as well. But other than that, it's a Cleveland. Oh, and it doesn't get the 360-degree turrets that the Cleveland does get. So there is that. But again, in most other parameters, it is simply a Cleveland. So if you are a Cleveland lover, picking up one of these makes total sense. Radar has been popular. That he has almost a 40-second radar time with his build on the Montpellier here. Oh, by the way, what's his in-game username? Oh, yep, Katsu. Yep, very similar to the email that this replay came from. So Katsu here is the dirty, filthy weeb driving this Montpellier, whatever you want to call it. He has found this Farragut out in the open very early on. Nice, good pickup kill there on the Farragut, eliminating one of the enemy team's destroyers. He did hold that repair for a little while, considering, the ship does not have a heal. So I probably would have popped that a little bit sooner, certainly before I lost half of my HP. But there is that. Granted, he was still spotted, it was an Albemarle. Okay, there goes that advantage right there. The Farragut got torps out and manages to take out the friendly Yadachi. So that's most unfortunate. Oh, by the way, this is a live reaction replay video. So I am sitting down and watching this for the very first time with you guys, wherever it is you might be, whether it's on your toilet, in your bed, on your couch, hiding from your boss at work. I'm right there with you, behind you, inside your walls, watching this with y'all. So you guys get my joint live reaction to whatever it is that goes on. I find it to be a much more entertaining replay formula than just, watching it beforehand and then commentating on it afterwards. Alright, so we found the Albemarle there. He's being spotted by the ships, probably the Ragnarok, pushing around that island right there. So he's getting some HE out on that. The Pozarski takes out the friendly Gade. Oof. Let's see if they manage to snag the enemy DD in exchange. So typically, with most games nowadays, you will see how the match is going based upon whose DDs perish in the first opening, 5-6 minutes of the match. And we're down 2 DDs on the friendly side, so it's not looking good for the friendlies so far, unless they manage to pick up this surviving enemy destroyer. But right now, Katsu is doing Cleveland things with his premium Cleveland, hiding behind islands, getting shells out on enemy ships, and just, slowly whittling down their HP with Cleveland's guns, trying to get some fire. So let's see, what is this reload right now? Well, obviously, he's got a adrenaline rush going. So yeah, he's down to, he's got a 7-second reload on these 152mm guns. So yeah, again, those changes are in fact confirmed now. I read a brief summary about the Montpellier before I hopped on, because some of these Azure Lane ships are just the ships that they're based off of, but premium. Then they do some slight changes every now and then with some of these Azure Lane ships too, like we see here with the Montpellier. So again, if you are a fan of Cleveland, this is probably a pretty solid pickup for you. Exchanging the slightly longer reload time for the faster, for the better Sigma totally makes sense. Especially like you saw in those opening minutes when Katsu absolutely murdered that innocent enemy destroyer. I guess the fire there on the Dallas I think the Dallas, no, he did not put that out. Dallas very well might be beaching, however. Kaga does take out the Rishu. That's a good pickup. This is a tier 8 game with a couple of tier 6s thrown in there, but it is a very tier 8 game. If we take a look at the leaderboard here, as you see, mostly tier 8 ships, a couple of tier 7s, and a couple of tier 6s tossed in there. All right, so two down versus two up. Never mind, there we go. Massachusetts takes out the Jarlsveld with its secondary guns this early on. That's pretty crazy. But unfortunately, the red team has managed to cap the first cap point. So now they're going to start gaining on the friendly team in that aspect. Oh, and there is a, well, not a, the good old replay glitch where the scores are flipped. So the green team scores or the red team scores, the red team scores, the green team score. Why? Because the replays just get confused sometimes, apparently. It apparently has something to do with like how the spawns are set up, and the replay thinks you're on one side of the map, but you're actually on the other side of the map, so it flips the score. I don't know, but 3 ships down versus 3 ships down, very close in terms of ship kills, but the red team most certainly has the cap advantage right now. They are currently taking the C cap. Katsu, of course, can't get very close to the C cap because, well, there's a lot there, and he's in a half HP Montpellier. So he's trying to keep his distance and just set what fires he can and harass the enemy team for as long as he can do so. Which is doing a very good job of using island cover to stay undetected and setting these fires. Which is, this is why spotting is so important. Because when you have cruisers like the Cleveland that are very good at getting shells on targets quite quickly, if you can have spotting, that way, you can take advantage of island cover and such and just burn things down. It's great. It's a great damage dealer in those situations. But of course, you have to have the spotting to do that. He's lobbing his shells over the island there using those American catapult arcs to get shots on that Tennessee. Tennessee is a very scary battleship to come up against in a cruiser because, of course, it can and will murder you. AP out on the broadside Albemarle. Is it enough? It isn't. No, sorry, it's not enough. That was in the Colorado chucking there. You got 1,500 with that salvo. Oh, that was a little bit better there. 3,000 damage almost. Goes back to HE, throws it at him as he scurries away. Here come the shells from the Colorado. Woohoo! Very close, but no cigar for that Colorado. Got a fire start on that Albemarle, though, so very good. Should force him to at least use his damage comp. He pops up again. You can murder him quite easily. But the friendly Colorado is also almost very dead. Was that HE coming from that Colorado? What? No. Couldn't be, huh? Why? I'm hoping that wasn't HE from that Colorado because that makes 0 sense. Speaking of battleships, here comes the Tennessee there. 2 fires on... that was weird. He had a fire there. Then he got another fire on him. And then the fire disappeared. Unless he... he probably clipped the Albemarle instead of firing the Albemarle, I bet. Alright, Dallas there, though broadside out, 11 kilometers away, loading AP. So Katsu is a very well-versed cruiser player because he's familiar with the number 2 button on his keyboard. Because believe it or not, even most ships that you would spend the entire game HE spamming, there are times when you should use AP. As you're seeing here with Katsu absolutely chunking this Dallas, who's going to take out its counterpart there. So the Dallas takes out the Dallas. He is on fire though, so that should be a trade there. So now we're going to have, 5 ships down versus 4 ships down. If this Dallas does go down, which he should. And there we go, he does. Dang, very close match so far. Green team is behind on kills, though, unfortunately. They do, however, have the A cap. And that's where most of the friendly team is at. They need to hurry up, get out of the A cap, and get going. So many times you'll see, teams just stack up at a cap. Something like A with a lot of island cover on this map. But then they'll just stay there for forever because they have the island cover and they can't get shot, so they get complacent with being there. There's Cleveland bouncing the Colorado AP like a Chad. But then they'll just sit there and they'll never push up, which is, of course, not very conducive to winning the match. So now Katsu is being forced to play open water gunboat Montpellier here. And, he's done a pretty good job of not getting deleted so far. He is doing a very good job of frustrating the enemy team by making some throttle changes here and there. So the friendly Massachusetts takes out the Pozarski now. That's good. Getting very, very close in kills. Green team is ahead on points by over 100 points at this moment. Thankfully, though, the U-69 has gotten into the B cap, and he is capping it for the time being. course, it's very dangerous for the submarine because once he gets spotted, he is getting absolutely dogpiled by the enemy team's ASW aircraft once they get in range. But he's doing a good job. Most submarine players, they just sit at periscope depth the entire time, as long as they can. But Mr. Sergeant Slaughter over here is doing a very good job of taking that B cap and staying on the surface. All right, Tennessee, who Katsu did set on fire, is burning quite nicely. Katsu's already up to 127,000 damage so far and counting. So he has kited quite far, but he's also making another wise decision to not, stay at full throttle and run to the edge of the map. He tossed into reverse there. See that right there, right when the Tennessee looked at him, he slammed the throttle full ahead. So now the Tennessee, when he's lining up his shot, he's trying to guesstimate how fast that our buddy here is going. But obviously when you're changing that, it makes it a little bit harder to guesstimate those speeds. He's still holding fire there. Probably, yep, very good move here by Katsu. Beautiful. He called it so well. So he called the Tennessee shots, throttled down, turned out, beautiful. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how you throttle juke. A lot of guesstimations, but you'll drive people insane once you figure out how to throttle juke pretty well. Which really, it's just being unpredictable. You'd be surprised how much just traveling at 1/4 speed or 3/4 speed will throw players off. So many players just slam W 4 times, go full ahead, and never change anything again. Another fire in the Tennessee there. That is his 13th fire, ladies and gentlemen. He's well on his way to getting a Witherer Award. So, situation. Green team has 2 caps. They are capping up. They are catching up. They're now only a mere 50. Oh, never mind. There we go. They are only... Oh, they're actually ahead now. 22 points ahead thanks to the Kaga taking out the Jervis. Okay. Up. Colorado takes up the Talon, though, so now, well, they are once again behind. But again, very close match so far. We are down now 6-6, ladies and gentlemen. And if you look at the leaderboard, too, very similar classes left alive. Both destroyers are down, both subs are alive. And then you got a combination of battleships and cruisers and a carrier left alive on each side. Very close game so far. The green team did manage to get out of their A-cap, though, which is very good, very rare on this map. Unfortunately for the red team, though, the U-69 has been taken out. But there you go, cross it. Man, they are going tit for tat. This is awesome. I wish my games this weekend were this close, because my God, they were not. Tennessee just got chunked by the Massachusetts, though, down to 401 HP. The Massachusetts secondary should make short work of him here pretty soon, but the Massachusetts is also quite low on HP as well. He's facing down a Colorado, a Bismarck, and, well, a Tennessee with one hell of an AR boost at the moment. So Tennessee manages to actually go dark up. Nope, there he is again. Is he going to get to... Nope, there we go. Okay, okay. No, that was not the Tennessee. That was the Colorado going down. Tennessee is still alive, ladies and gentlemen, for now. But here we go. Katsu's cleared the mountain. Looking to get his 4th kill here after killing the Colorado. I think he very well may get it. And he does, ladies and gentlemen. Up there's the Arsonist achievement right there. Alright, so he has Arsonist now. 175,000 damage done so far. 4 kills in the bank. But we have a low health Mass and half health Ragnarok. A Kaga. Oh, well, and we no longer have a U-69. So now it is 4v3. So that Bismarck way the hell out there. He was at pretty good HP. I don't know what he's doing all the way out there. But he should be rushing to the middle right now, because like this is his jam. Late game brawling in a healthy Bismarck. That is most certainly something that Bismarcks very much love. Alright, so there we go. The Massachusetts takes out the Albemarle, now 2v4. Okay, green team has a fairly healthy lead at this moment. But the enemy Yorktown is still up. Again, we have a mostly healthy Bismarck here. We have a low health Massachusetts and half health Ragnarok. So we'll see what happens here. Now, this Bismarck, he's staying way the hell out there. He might be main battery build. It's probably what he's doing. Oh, there you go. Mass is down. Now it's a 3v2. Ah, but the Yorktown has been spotted. Look at this. So now with Katsu heading over the sea, he's caught the Yorktown with his pants down. Well, the Yorktown, he hasn't been spotted yet. Katsu hasn't, so he doesn't know that he's here. He could throw into reverse to get behind that island, but he's probably not going to be able to do that into... Oh, nope, he goes undetected. That's right. Gotta have spotting, right, Sealord? AP finds a little bit to bite into. Most of it is the deck, though. Alright, so you have a Ragnarok versus a Bismarck, with a Calgon and a Yorktown intervening on both of their ships' behalf. Okay. Decent hits on the Bismarck there from the Kalga. Ooh, that Ragnarok is very much low. It's screwed over a little bit. Ooh, yeah, 12k HP. That's not looking good, especially going against German AP. Although we do have the Yorktown here. Yorktown has thrown it into reverse. He'll probably get behind that island with most of his HP intact. But of course, once Katsu does get around the island, he will very much have him at his whim. Alright, so he's got the AP and the tubes. Now, the Yorktown's a decision to make here. He can focus on... never mind. There we go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to a 2v2 with a half-health light cruiser and a probably half-health Bismarck at this point against a Yorktown and a Kaga. Okay, like third health Bismarck. So, Kaga drops a fighter to keep Katsu spotted, but it's out of his range. Oh, no, it might be for the CV, actually, because the Bismarck... yeah, the Bismarck's going to pull up on that Kaga here in a second. So, again, the Bismarck has a choice to make here, too. You can try and go for the Kaga, or you can go for Katsu here in his low-health Montpellier, which would probably be, yep, the correct decision. No maneuvering whatsoever. Eats all those torpedoes. I'm not really sure about that stratagem. But all right. Yorktown. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Well, that would have been a 300 IQ move there. Smoking up the enemy cruisers so he can't spot you anymore. But unfortunately for the Yorktown, the Kaga did take out the Bismarck. And plus, I mean, well, Montpellier does very much have radar. So you pop Hydro just to get an idea if any torps are heading his way, which there are some torps from the Yorktown. Good call there, because he's at such low HP. One or two of those hitting him is very much a big deal. He's at the Yorktown. Is Yorktown in his Hydro range? No, that's the Kaga spotting him. So now he's got Yorktown all to himself. He is still very, very low, though. One good strike from the Yorktown can do him in. But let's see. Well, the Yorktown, I don't know why the Yorktown didn't smoke himself up. That would have been a much better strategy than smoking up the Montpellier. TVIII is popping right now. He is shredding some planes at this moment. He might get a clear skies here before this is said and done with. Up, here come the torps. Ooh, eats one of the nose. That's okay. So 6,000 HP left. Yorktown secondary is going off. Unfortunately, it's not the 8-inch secondaries that the Yorktown originally had. And there we go. There's Kraken unleashed. 226,000 damage done in a Montpellier. That is very much impressive. That was a good game all the way through. Nice and close all the way to the end. Dang, look at that. 2.3 million credits. 67,000 XP, 4,000 free XP. Someone was running some blue economic bonuses. Maybe some red ones with that level of income. 21 planes shot down, 5 ships sunk, 1 cap to his name. Witherer, Arsonist, Confederate, Kraken Unleashed, First Blood, and High Caliber. All with a ship that doesn't really have any crazy gimmicks. This is, Cleveland is about as vanilla as it comes when it comes to like modern day World of Warships. I mean, like Montpellier is just like Cleveland with some tweaks here and there. So like it's got burst fire mode and any crazy stupid gimmicks or anything like that. It's one of the oldest ships in the game. How much base XP does this man get? 3,500 base XP on a tier 8 ship. That is an insane tier 10 game, by the way. 3,500 base XP. That is like your once in a month I become the main character levels of XP in a tier 10 game, let alone in a tier 8 game. So keep that in mind. So excellent job there, Katsu. Montpellier might be a ship that I have to pick up. I'm not a dirty, filthy weeb, but that better accuracy for the reload and a slightly longer radar, it's looking pretty good there. And very much shown to its full effect here in this replay courtesy of Katsu. So guys, if you have a replay like this of just, a good old close match, a very solid game showing off your ship, feel free to send it into the email linked in the description down below, or you can submit it to the community Discord in the replay channel. Link to that is down there as well. Hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday, wonderful rest of your weekend, of your Memorial Day weekend if you're an American. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.